Hello, Vanguard Lion fans. It is time. Somehow summer has flown by, and we are here ready to go with the fall season 2022-2023 will start. First up, women's volleyball head coach JP Dorn here with us today. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Just came out of our first practice this morning, so ready to talk about volleyball.
I know, you guys are here. You're already started, just a couple days into practice now. And before we get into this year's start, which is coming up shortly, how was the summer and how was the recruiting process for you over the off season, which I'm sure you're glad to have a normal process to go through this past year?
Yes. Summer's been great. We're really excited about a fresh start this year is really the biggest key to that. Hopefully a lot less COVID protocols and all those things. We brought in a class of 6, just really amped up our athleticism and created depth on our pins on both sides. And so I'm really excited about, even just in our practices now, these last few days, like just the competitive factor is off the charts. And then through summer, it's been a really great break, I think, for everybody. You have to have your downtime away from the sport to refresh. And I think we've all gotten that, but yet, you know, we had a few open gyms here and there with our gym schedule was tough, but the girls seem to be very committed to their workout programs. Everybody came in here, you know, just crushing their testing and things like that. So as a coach in that side of things, it is a really great feeling to know that we're all here and we're all ready to do something.
How was it also getting to play some spring games again for the first time in a little while?
Yeah, we didn't have a ton of them, but going from that spring season right to fall season again, I don't think we all realized what a toll that took on just our mentality, just the emotional and physical fatigue on our bodies. We were nursing a lot of injuries in the fall and things like that, especially being really thin on certain positions. So we're really grateful to have kind of more of a cadence and actual rhythm to our year. So
then let's move into this year. Obviously, with the season starting up, I'm sure the fans back home want to know what this squad is all about. So who's coming back, who's new, and then we'll break it down a little bit by where they'll all line up on the court.
Yeah, we're going to have a big DS roster again. We had a big DS roster last year too, we did a lot of work with them in the spring. You know, we've got new people kind of stepping into that libero role this year, and we're young in that position, so we're only going to just excel, I think, defensively. Cambria Fernandez is coming back for her 5th season, so that's really exciting for us. She brings a lot of leadership, experience, and just competitive factor in general. We have all of our setters back. We have Madeline, who is our, 2 years ago, she was all conference team. She was just shy of it last year. So we have just all of our pieces. We have some older middles now that Haley's returned. She's coming back to kind of lead the charge for our middles. And then, like I said, our pins, we're really excited to see what happens there. We brought in just a lot of competitive athletic, a lot of them have a lot of awards from high school and club and things like that. And so we're looking forward to seeing how that competitive nature plays out in our practice gym. To sustain that, you have to have the best team in the gym every practice session. So that requires depth and that, competitiveness every day. So I'm trying to think of some other big positions, but yeah, everyone's just we're all so engaged in what we're wanting and accomplishing and really bought in.
Then by position then, who's going to be up the middle and who's going to be out on the sides thrown down this year?
That's a good question that we're trying to figure out, especially in our middles. Haley will lead that charge, and between Peyton and Maggie, they're battling that out right now. We're looking at 2 for our libero position. Natalie and Blair are battling that out right now. Our pins, Cam will lead that charge. It's kind of anyone's game on the outside right now. We're seeing such great things as far as defense and blocking and the learning curve is just happening like that. So I honestly can't even tell you right now on the outside. Addie on our right side, Adeline is just, she's just a jumper. Like, she skies, and she just can turn the ball around any block. So she'll definitely be somebody that will be seen on the court. And then Callie and Delaney are battling that out. Callie's got a big block. Delaney's got a big block. They're both working their offense and finding great angles. I don't know. We're day 2.5 right
That's
now.
fair. That's fair. It's a lot of questions for just showing up on campus.
Yeah.
So anyway,
obviously
doing this because you are starting your season so early, because next weekend, not this coming one, but the following one, you're flying out to Montana. Then you've got the Hope Summer Slam and the St. Catherine tournament, and all of that includes some great competition before you start GSAC play. So walk us through your schedule a little bit.
Oh, our schedule has turned out to be one of the most competitive schedules we've had in a long time, probably since 2018. We are playing, I think, seven ranked teams in our first 12 matches, or 6 maybe. And our Montana trip is going to be guns blazing. What are we about? What are we going to see? We're going to see some of the best teams out there right away. And so we're going to see what we're made of real fast, and how we respond and can, come back from runs, and how we can keep the pace and hopefully take some gains and things like that. So we're going to see what we're about right away. It'll be nice to be Hope Summer Slam, because that's in town, so it'll be nice to have, family, friends out supporting right away. Same thing, we're going to be playing some ranked teams there. And then finishing off at St. Cat's, we'll be, again, playing a ranked team there, and then some other really competitive matches there as well. So this preseason is going to really set us up to play good competitive volleyball all the way through into our conference. So I think it's really setting us up to learn our system fast, to have to learn our system fast, flush things out, and really be playing our best volleyball by the time conference comes.
Any non-conference foe or two that you would circle?
Westcliff, yeah, I know they've got some international kids in and things like that. They've built the program up with some athletes, so it'll be interesting how that match goes. We got a D3 with Chapman on there. They're notoriously a great program. They've been in the top for D3, so those aren't going to be easy slouch games at all. So we're going to have to compete all the way through. I think notoriously we've had a couple of those teams where you're like, okay, we know that, we know we can handle this team, blah, blah, but we don't have that at all this preseason. And I like it that way, because it really allows, it really makes us have to sustain here the whole time. And that's what you want to do anyways. You don't ever want to have to play up or down. You just want to play Vanguard way is what we're looking for.
Conference? Any word, any thoughts yet? Obviously, the NAI ranks just dropped. You guys are receiving votes. Westmont is too. Any other insight on what the rest of the schools in the GSAC are up to as we head to the start of the season?
I think this conference I've seen in the last 5 years, just from 5 years ago to now, it's such a different conference competitively. When the D2 schools left 10 years ago or whatever it was, it kind of rebuilt itself, and now it's tough volleyball day in and day out. There are no off games. There's no, we're playing this team. You have to be playing good volleyball, and especially with the travel. So I know these coaches well, and I know they're recruiting their tails off too. So I think there's a lot of question marks of who's going to be who this year and where we all stand. Obviously Westmont and Ottawa are going to be, the upper echelon of that. And we're going to be looking to break into that too. So, I don't know. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be real fun.
We'll see where the coaches all pick you to finish, as the GSAC ranks will come out here in the next week, I'm sure, or if not, next week. Yeah. 2 final questions then. One, you have a new assistant coach in Eric Valley. How is that going, having a different perspective, someone who's also worked extensively with the men's team here?
We are super excited. Eric and I started chatting about possibilities last year, knowing that Sherry was going to be going more full-time with T Street, and He's a UCLA guy. I'm a USC girl. So
Match made in heaven, right?
that's the one thing, right? No, no, it's just really cool because I feel like in a lot of ways we're cut from the same cloth of how we see the game. And he's a huge, he was a setter, so he is very setter minded, which is really, really good for us. It's really what we need. It's hard when, we don't have 5 coaches on staff and you can't see all the pieces all the time. And he provides another perspective that is just going to be invaluable to us. So, but yeah, we're learning each other right now. A lot of great just communication and how we see it and what we're trying to get. And we've been so proud of these girls, starting out this preseason. So if we keep this mentality, it's going to be a really fun year. So.
Speaking of the year ahead, obviously you will be the first team in the Vanguard season to be playing not in the pit because you will be at OCC or Calvary Chapel High School. So any thoughts and excitement on the new center and then playing this year at home down the street a little bit?
We better get real good playing on the road this year. No, I think, OCC and Calvary, they're great venues. So we're not necessarily worried about that. It'll be a little different because it's home but not home, so it's kind of neutral matches for us. I was actually looking at some pictures from something from last year and, seeing the backdrop of the pit, and I was like, there's a sadness there. I'm like, we don't have that echoey chamber in the home court advantage, but you know what? We've got 20 girls who are here to make that advantage. And so, home is home where we are. So that's what matters.
There you go. That means you have to get out to OCC Calvary Chapel for the conference home games. Those are the only home games you have on the schedule. So keep an eye out for that. Later in September, almost October, is when you finally are having a home game. But there'll be a couple other contests, as you said, the Hope Summer Slam towards the end of this month, as well as a couple non-conference games. Like you said, Chapman, Westcliff, also close by. Coach JP Dorn, glad you stopped by. Best of luck in the season. We're looking forward to hopefully having you back near the top of the GSAC standings this year.
Yeah, come watch us play.